What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, fresh off a week off which I, largely stuck to, mostly, we need to talk about some news which has gone and dropped. We've got a couple little bits of news which are kind of fun and things we should be getting a little bit excited about. However, we've got a big piece of news that we should be getting very excited about, although unfortunately we don't actually know very much, and that makes me genuinely sad. But let's talk about what we do know. This image has gone and been shown off, and what it shows us is EX-02. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. There is a second special set. Of course, EX-01 is ramping up for release in Japan in the not too distant future. I say not too distant future, I'm lying to you, it just came out 3 days ago. It came out on July the 30th, and we are now ramping up to the release of EX-02. And what I really want to do here is I want to get all up in all the details we know. I want to bring you lots of information. I want to tell you absolutely everything. And the fact of the matter is, there is very little that I can actually tell you. Here's what I can tell you. I can tell you it's releasing in December of this year over in Japan. Incidentally, we're getting EX-01 about 5 months after Japan. So if they're having a December release, assume we're going to get it sometime in kind of like April-ish as a very rough guide. But we know that it's coming out in December. We know that. That's been confirmed. And we know that it is focused on tamers. There's not a dramatic pause, that's it. That is a sum total of the information we know. There is a second special set coming. It's coming in December. It's focused on tamers. Now, one thing which I do think is very important to note, expect it to be different to a regular set. In the same way that EX-01 was different to a regular set, we should expect EX-02 to be different to a regular set. So whereas a regular set generally has 112 cards with the same ratio of rares and super rares and all of that, EX-01 had 73 cards of a different ratio of rares, super rares, etc. And you should expect the same thing here. You should expect the card list, etc. to look a lot more like EX-01 than your regular set. So, well, 8 super rares is a bit low, 1 secret rare is a bit low, etc. That is roughly what you should expect. Again, I can't tell you guaranteed one way or the other, but I think that is a very sensible prediction to make. Now, before we move on to some other bits of news, I do think it's important at this stage to sit down and look at the Japanese release schedule. Now, I haven't done a video about this, and maybe I should in the near future, but essentially, if we go through quickly, BT5 came out on February the 26th, and BT6 came out on May the 28th, that's 3 months later. Now, BT7 has got a confirmed release date in Japan of the 27th of August. It's on the official site and everything, which is, again, 3 months later. So the main sets in Japan seem to be settling into a nice 3-month release. February, May, August, and presumably BT8 is going to be in November, though that is currently unconfirmed. As a fun little side note, they are the months where the English Pokemon releases come out. In English, Pokemon releases are February, May, August, November, so I like the little bit of symmetry we've got going on there. I know there's no correlation between Japanese Digimon releases and English Pokemon releases, but it amuses me nonetheless. But then a wrench gets thrown into work by EX-01. That came out on July the 30th, so if we add that into the release schedule, what we find out is that EX-01 came out 2 months after BT6 and 1 month before BT7. And if we assume that BT8 is coming out in November, and again, I do think that is a very fair assumption to make, then that means that EX-02 is going to be coming out 1 month after BT8. Again, if we've got essentially the end of the month release and all the sets this year have all come out right at the end of the month, like the earliest in the month was BT5 on February 26th, and even that's 2 days before the end of the month, because remember, February's a short month. So essentially what that means is, when they throw in these EX sets, they are going to be 1 month away from one set and 2 months away from another. And remember again that EX-01 was not just a fancy collector's set, it was a good set with playable cards in that are affecting the metagame. We've already had a fairly large tournament won by Machine Dramon from EX-01. So make no mistake about it, we are not talking about some fancy little collector's set, and it doesn't matter if it gets thrown in the middle and there's lots of releases, because if you're a player, it's not going to affect the metagame, because, ladies and gentlemen, it absolutely is going to affect the metagame. And I know at this stage some people are going, the releases are happening too fast. Too many releases, too fast. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is how TCGs work. It's more regular than this in Pokemon because they tend to have main sets and mini sets. In Pokemon, often we'll have 2 or 3 months in a row where the metagame is being transformed. So this is the way it tends to be. I don't think these EX sets are going to affect regular releases. I do think it is absolutely fair to assume that we're going to have BT8 in November, and this is just going to slip in 1 month later. Unconfirmed, of course. But I do think that is, again, a very sensible prediction. Now, a couple of other little bits of news, which are very little bits of news, but we do need to go through them because they are still important. The booster pack artwork for BT7 has gone and been revealed. And it's kind of what we would have expected, honestly. We've got an advert for BT7 which has gone and been shown off with the booster pack artwork, and it features Metal Greymon. Remember, we have already looked at a secret rare Metal Greymon that is going to be in the set, so it makes sense, that was the first card revealed, essentially, so it makes sense that it would be on the booster pack artwork. And I have very little to add to this. I personally prefer seeing the bigger, badder Digimon on the front, but I don't think this is a huge problem. It's kind of cool, honestly. I like it. It looks nice. Obviously, we saw the BT7 booster box before. They've started doing this thing, Bandai have, where when they first kind of not fully announce the sets, but reveal them, send them out to distributors, etc. When we first hear about them, they give these booster boxes with the artwork missing, and then every so often I'll see somebody being like, oh, this is a very toned down piece of art, and I'm like, no, mate, they've literally just taken the picture off. And we can see if we put them side by side, they literally have just taken the picture of Metal Greymon off. So essentially the booster box gets sent around and we know the name, but Bandai don't want to give us the information about the main Digimon yet, so they deliberately leave that image off the front, and I don't think that's something we can get particularly upset about. Now, another small piece of news, which is actually a pretty big piece of news, at least if you're a big Digimon TCG nerd like me, because a little while ago, I showed you these Memorial Collections 1 and 2, and I showed you that they were absolutely awesome, and that they contained exclusive alternate art promos, i.e., they are, well, exactly like I said. They are alternate art promos. You do not need these. These are very inessential products, but they are still extremely cool. Well, it has been confirmed that they are going to be released on the online shopping site Premium Bandai over in Japan. And although I cannot tell you with absolute certainty, I'm fairly sure that all the Digimon TCG stuff that's gone up on Premium Bandai in Japan has gone up on Premium Bandai in the US. And so keep an eye out, it's going up there. And you know what's great about Premium Bandai? It's limited, and I'm fairly sure it's made to order. What that means is, it's not going to sell out. Just go and get it. So an example would be the Digimon card game Tamer set that you could pre-order from November the 27th to January the 18th of this year. And you ordered it, you got it. It was on Premium Bandai. Now, outside of Japan, these are actually being sold through local game stores, etc. So if you're in Europe like me, get in touch with your local game store. That's what I've been doing for this kind of stuff. But it's going to go up on Premium Bandai, so go for it, ladies and gentlemen. Go for it. That is genuinely very, very good news indeed. And the final piece of news, and this is again very, very good news, the online regionals are happening. And yeah, it's a good thing, right? Online regionals, they're cool. Now, I know a lot of the online regionals sold out very quickly, and I've had an awful lot of people that have just not been able to read the official announcement, getting very annoyed. But if we go to the official announcement, It literally said, due to public holidays in Japan on July the 22nd and 23rd, that was because of the Olympics starting, we apologise that we were unable to announce some of the regional events on our website and social media accounts in a timely manner. To compensate, the players may have missed out due to this. The player capacity for some of them will be increased. Additionally, more online regionals are scheduled for November and December. That's amazing. Now, registration did start up yesterday, so hopefully you got on that nice and quick. There might have been 2 days ago, depending on when this goes up. But a lot of people got annoyed because that announcement came out and they went and were like, it's still sold out! And it's like, yeah, because the tickets haven't gone on sale again yet. I've got my ticket for Europe. I'm hoping I'll be able to compete this time. Last couple times I've tried doing online tournaments. Family stuff has unfortunately jumped in. But if I can be competing, I will. I've certainly got my ticket, and I'm excited. I'm going to be building green decks. I play green, right? I've said this a million times. I'm going to be building some green decks. I'm probably going to play. I'm going to build Dark Digimon as well, but I don't think Dark Digimon is actually good enough to really warrant playing. But I really like playing Dark Digimon, so I might play it anyway just because it's a fun deck. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know. EX-02 coming is clearly the big news here. But some other fun little bits of news as well. And now I think we're caught up on the little bits of news. As always, card reveals, etc. Anything you need to know will always be on this channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, might I humbly suggest that you do, so that you don't miss out. Everything you need to know will be on here, because I'm kind of obsessed with this game, and I'm totally cool with it. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of this stuff and some predictions for EX-02, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.